Facebook. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. Instagram is live now. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a great start to your week thus far. I'm about to make the start of your week even better because of this live that I'm about to do right now. So everybody who is coming in, y'all can see the subject. Y'all see the subject header right there. You can introduce yourself by telling me your name and location, and we're going to get it going. We're going to get all this popping and bouncing within the next 75 seconds. So as y'all come in, name and location, we got Chlor, C-Lord G1. What's good? Dope Soul J. What's going on? First two comments. As y'all come in, tell me your names and locations. We get started in 60 seconds. We are getting started. So whoever's here is here. Whoever miss it. Jay White from Guam. What's going on? So we got Guam in the house. We are already international. I'm checking in from Work on Your Game University headquarters in Miami, Florida. It's beautiful here. The weather's nice. It's super humid. It's summertime here already. It's the middle of April. We are in summer here in Miami. So any of y'all gonna come to Miami, I hope y'all was hitting the gym in the wintertime because it's gonna be obvious, when you get out here. Brandon from Pensacola was good. Jamar White, what's going on? We getting started in 20 seconds. I'm gonna wait and see if a few more people come in, then we getting right into the material. They're gonna have to catch it in the middle. They're gonna have to catch up to the train once it leaves the station. My name's Dre Baldwin, for those who don't know me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, former 9-year professional basketball player now, and at the same time, author of 25 books. Book number 26 is Soon Come. Book 26 is Soon Come, 27 is after that, and 28 is after that. I've published over 7,000 videos on YouTube, 6,000 articles, 1,500 podcast episodes. I call them masterclasses because my podcast is not the normal podcast. It's a masterclass lesson you get every time you listen to my podcast. It's not an exaggeration. That's the truth. I've created a whole lot of other things. I ain't going to list them all out here because we ain't got time for all that. But what I will tell you is that everything that I do is within this framework of what I call work on your game. It's taking the mindset necessary to be successful as a professional athlete and how you can apply that same mentality to your business, to your sport, and to your life. That's what work on your game is all about, and I'm going to explain that to you. Well, I'm going to explain one of my frameworks. I got a whole lot of them. I got thousands of frameworks. I'm going to explain one of them here today. The topic is why they ignore you, why you are being passed over. Because these days, this is an important topic because these days a lot of people will ask me something along the lines of, or they might not even be asking, they may just express something along the lines of, I'm doing my job, I'm working on my game, I'm putting myself out there like I talk about every day on my masterclass, put yourself out there boldly and authentically, but they're like, I'm not getting the attention, I'm not getting the response. People are not clicking on my links, people are not subscribing to my feed, people are not buying my product, people are not signing up for my service. What's missing, Dre? Why is this happening? Why am I not getting the response from the market that I want to get? And understand this market could be anything. You could be a salesperson trying to sell something. You could be an athlete trying to get yourself on a team. You could be a young man or woman or old man or woman trying to get attention from the other men and women out there in the field, so to speak. You're just not getting the attention. You're not getting the response from those people out there in that marketplace because if we think about it, every one of us is a salesperson at heart. All right, and the bottom line of everything all of us do, we're trying to make a sale. You ask someone for their attention, you're selling something. You try to, of course, exchange money for a product or service, that's a sale. You want somebody to listen to what you're saying, that's a sale. You send someone an email, you want them to write you back, you have to sell them on responding to you. Right now, I'm selling you on giving me your attention so I can get this message across to you. And depending on who's listening, I may make that sale and keep your attention, I may not. But that's the way that it goes. All of us, when we're in the game, we are all salespeople. So if you're being ignored, you're being looked over, you feel like you're not getting the kind of attention you should be getting, I'm going to explain to you today in this live right now why that is happening. So any athlete who feel like you should be getting more exposure, you feel like you're not getting scouted because you're from a small town or you go to a small school, and I hear this from athletes all the time. They say, well, I go to a small school, so I'm not getting recruited. And I always tell them, well, it's not the school that's the reason you're not getting recruited, it's you. But anyway, that's a different topic. Actually, as part of this topic, we're going to talk about that as we get into this. And of course, in the business world, there are so many people out there now doing live streams, putting out we're trying to write a book, doing YouTube videos, writing articles, trying to get people to get on their email list. Everybody's trying to do it. Everybody's in the game. So how do you make yourself stand out when you feel like you're being ignored, you're not getting attention from anybody? Let me tell you why that's happening, and then we can figure out what you could do about it. First, we got to figure out why you're in the hole in the first place. Then we're going to figure out how you can get the hell out of the hole. All right, everybody got that? Point number one. Number one reason why you get looked over, even though you think you may be good, even though you think you work on your game, you think you have something that is valuable to people, but people are not giving you the time of day, they're not giving you the attention, they're not giving you energy. Number one reason this happens, especially these days, is because your offering, whatever you're bringing to the table, is way too similar to what everybody else is offering. In other words, you are not unique enough. There is nothing differentiating about what you offer compared to what everybody else is offering. When I first started putting the basketball videos on YouTube in the early mid-2000s, 2006, 7, 8-ish, around that time, players would say to me, Dre, when you get done playing basketball, since you know the game so well and you can explain it well and you talk about these mindset tools, you'll be a good coach. You could be a basketball coach, or you could be a trainer or something like that. And still to this day, I still get basketball players asking me if I could train them and things like that all the time. And the thing is this. I didn't want to step into the training world, coaching world for two reasons. Number one, I'm not interested. It doesn't excite me to become a trainer or a coach, which is why I don't do it, because I would just be doing it for the check. And I don't want to be doing any kind of work just to get the money. I want to do something that I give a damn about. And the other reason is, there's too many damn trainers out there. There are too many coaches out there. I look on Instagram. I'm not even looking for basketball training material, but I go to the Explorer tab on Instagram, and all I'm seeing is people doing dribbling drills, people dribbling around cones, people doing crossovers, people getting their shots up in the gym. And I'm like, damn, who is not a basketball trainer these days? Who's not a basketball coach? Who's not an expert at helping people get better at basketball? And I'm proud to see all these people doing it, and hopefully, doing something beneficial for other people and helping themselves with this. But I'm like, God damn. Everybody's doing it. What separates any one of these dudes from anybody else, or any one of these ladies from anyone else? Anyone who's a basketball trainer out there, what are you offering that no other basketball trainer is offering? What separates you from everyone else out there? If you happen to be stepping into this field, or any field, actually, come to think of it, doesn't have to be basketball. I'm just using that as an example. But any field you step into, and there are a whole lot of other mofos doing the same thing that you're doing, you must make very, very clear. It needs to be clear off the top. What are you offering? How are you doing it that makes you different from everybody else out there in a distinct way that me as the consumer, I can understand it and it matters to me? All right, so don't just tell me why you think you're different. Tell me why your difference matters to me. If you cannot explain that in like 10 seconds or less, you are just like everybody else out there. You are a Me Too offer. I'm not talking about the hashtag Me Too. I'm talking about you're too similar to everybody else out there, and this is why you're getting passed over, because there's nothing unique about you. You got to be unique from everyone else out there. So the two ways to be unique is either one, get into a field where there isn't anybody else doing the same thing that you're doing. You're doing something that there is no competition. So if anybody wants that thing, they have no choice but to go to you because you're the only option. Or B, you must figure out a way to be in the space that you're in, but you got to figure out what is it about what you're doing that you can brand it in such a way that when people see you, they're like, oh, wow, this is different from all the other fitness trainers out there. This is different from all the other weight loss experts out there. This is different from all the other motivational speakers out there. This is different from all the basketball trainers out there. What is it that you're offering that differentiates you from everybody else out there in that field? You got to be able to make that clear in a very, very short period of time. If you can't do it, listen, people's attention spans are very, very short these days, especially people who don't know you. Now, if somebody knows you, they'll give you attention. They'll listen to you even if you're boring. They might listen and let you finish. Like Kanye to Taylor Swift, I'm going to let you finish. But if they don't know you, they're not giving you time. They're going to give you, literally in the online marketing world, you get about 3 seconds. This is not an exaggeration. You get about 3 seconds from the time somebody comes to your website or your landing page before they decide to leave, if there's nothing there that makes them have to stay. There's nothing that hooks them in and makes them have to give you their attention. If you are too similar to everybody else, what we call you is a commodity. You know what a commodity is? A commodity is something that is easily replaceable. If I can't get the Kleenex tissues, then I get the other kind of tissues. I don't even know what they call it. Can't get those, I get the other kind. I can't get those, I get the dollar store kind. Can't get those, I get the Walmart kind. What's the difference? Ain't no difference. Doesn't matter. I just get whichever one I can get. It doesn't matter. They're a commodity. I need a basketball trainer. I'm either going to go to somebody I already know or somebody that I heard of or whoever's the closest around. The problem is this. When there are so many people, even when you get somebody to buy from you, right? let's say that you think you have something to differentiate you. I take a look at what you got and I say, this is not really differentiating, honestly. But let's say you get somebody to sign up with you or buy from you anyway, right? Even though you're similar to all these other people. Here's the next problem you're going to run into is that you can't charge a price or a fee that is really that high, because if your price is too high, all that person is going to do is say, well, your price is this high, you're charging me $50 for whatever you're offering. Well, this person over here is just like you and they're charging $30. Why do I need to buy from you? Or this person over here is charging $25. Why should I buy from either one of you? Or this person over here is charging $10. Why do I got to buy from you? What it becomes is what we call in the sales world, we call that a race to the bottom. All right. Now, you heard of racing to the top. Racing to the top is a good thing. Everybody's moving up and getting to a higher level. Racing to the bottom means everybody's racing down to zero. All right, you don't want to race to the bottom. When you become a commodity, you're in a race to the bottom. Mark LaVille, what's going on over there on Facebook? If you're in a race to the bottom, what happens is you get undercut. So let's say you want to charge 50, but there's somebody who's just like you across the street, they're going to charge 40. Then somebody around the corner, they're going to charge 30. Then somebody down there going to charge 20. And before you know it, all y'all doing, y'all work for free, because all of you are trying to differentiate yourself from everybody else by price. You don't want to get into a price war with people by trying to be lower price. You want to be so good and so unique at what you do that it doesn't matter what you charge. People ain't got no choice but to pay it, and they want to pay it because they know that what you offer is the only place they can get it. They have to come and get it from you. If you cannot make clear what differentiates you from the field, all right, you got a problem. All right, and you're going to continue to have a problem until you figure out what makes you different. So how do you fix this? I'm going to tell you right now. You got to get very specific about what you do to where you're the only one. And again, in the marketing world, they say the riches are in the niches. All right, you heard of niche, right? N-I-C-H-E. Some people call it niche. All right, if you want to be a little bit more cultured in the way you say it. Niching down. That means you could still be, for example, I'll help anybody who's an athletic trainer out there. You could be a trainer, let's say, for basketball players, but instead of being a basketball trainer, which is 1,000 of them, how about you be, you know what, I'm a basketball trainer for people who are 6'9" and above, and I help them with their footwork. That is specific. See how niche that is? Now, any 6'9" player who wants to work on their footwork, they're not going to go to a general basketball trainer. They're going to go find a guy who works with 6'9" guys who need to work on their footwork, because I've specifically owned that audience. That's what you need to do. The same way that if something happened to you, if you hurt your back, you're not going to go to the general practitioner doctor. You're going to go to a chiropractor. Why? Because a chiropractor doesn't just do all doctor stuff. Chiropractor focuses on one specific niche area, which is when people have problems with their back. That's all a chiropractor does. So if you hurt your back, you're not going to go to the general practitioner doctor. You're going to go to the specialist who specializes on helping people with their back. It's just like if you needed heart surgery, you're not going to go to the general doctor. You're going to go to the person who specializes in doing cardiac surgery, whatever that is, whatever they call that person. Cardiologist, I don't know. Whatever they call it. Hopefully, I'll never need to know what that person is. But you understand what I'm saying? You got to get very specific at what you're doing so that you can differentiate yourself from everybody else in your field. If you haven't done that yet, that is probably the main reason, 9 times out of 10, why you're being passed over. Point number 2. The reason why people are passing you over and ignoring you because your value is too low. Yes, not too high. Your value is too low. In other words, whatever you're asking for in exchange for your offering is not worth the resources that you want people to give you. So in other words, if you're selling a book and you want to charge $25 for the book, you have not built enough value in the mind of your consumer that book is worth $25 or more. That's why they're not buying it. All right. Or you haven't gotten people's attention. So let's just assume you got point number 1 down. You got people's attention. They're paying attention to you. Now they're not buying anything from you, even though they're paying attention, because you have not established enough value. Your value is too low. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the resources that you are asking people to give you in order to get what you want. In other words, what they get is not worth enough compared to what they're giving. It needs to be a better deal. I want y'all to understand something about the sales world. People do not buy things because, first of all, people never buy anything if they're going to lose out on it, right? So if I'm selling a book and I say this book costs $25, if you think the book is only worth $20, you will never buy this book, because that means you're taking a $5 loss in value. No person in their right mind is going to do that. All right. And most human beings have deep emotional connections to their money. They will definitely not spend $25 on a book that they think is only worth $20. No way. And let me tell you something else, that because many people think, well, if it's an even exchange, then they'll buy it from you, right? So if y'all say the book is $25 and you think the value is $25, you'll buy it, right? Wrong. That is not what happens. Human beings, all of us, even me when I'm a consumer, we only buy things when we feel like we're getting a deal. We feel like we're winning. That's the only time we spend money. You buy something because you believe the value you're going to get for that product or service is more than what you pay in money. You would only pay $25 for this book if you feel like you're going to get $30 or more in value out of the book. Now, you might not make that conscious calculation in your mind before you purchase it. I understand that. But if you don't think you're getting a deal, you don't feel like the product is worth more than what you pay, then you're not going to do it, because otherwise all you're doing is treading water. Nobody wants to tread water. We only buy when we feel like we're getting more value. So the point that I'm making here, point number 2, is that your value, whatever you're offering, needs to be worth 10 times. What I've heard from the people that I listen to, my marketing and sales mentors, they say the things that you sell, you need to establish in the mind of your prospect that it is worth 10 times the actual sticker price that they have to pay. So if you're selling something that costs $1, you need to establish in their mind that it's worth $10. If you're selling something that costs $100, you must establish in their mind that it's worth $1,000. If you don't do that, they will not buy. Now, why would they not buy? Because there's somebody else who may be somewhat similar to you, maybe not exactly, but somewhat similar to you, who's going to offer a better deal, and people are going to take it. Let me tell you something about humans, and you can think about yourself, and you'll know that this is right. We love getting a deal. All right, we love knowing that we spent $5, but we got $50 in value. We love that. That will attract people to what you're offering, like ants get attracted to a picnic basket. If you can show that what you're offering is worth 10 times more than what you're asking for, because in the mind of your consumer, unconsciously, they're like, damn, that's a hell of a deal. I can't pass that up. They might not even be that excited about what you're offering, but the deal is so good that they got to take it. That's the way that you got to learn how to sell things. And you can read some books on marketing if you want to learn more about that. You go to dreallday.com/read. I got a recommended reading list. Read every book on there in the marketing category. You can learn more about that. But the point that I'm making here in point number 2, to stick to our topic, is your value has to be very high. In other words, again, people got to feel like they're getting a whole lot more than they're giving. If they're not getting that, they are not going to buy from you. All right, so you need to, here's the change. Here's how you fix this. One way that you can raise your value is very simply raising your price. If you raise your price, you raise your value. Because when you raise your price higher, let's say you raise whatever you're selling right now, you multiply that price by 10. You put a 0 at the end of it, multiply it by 10. Now, in the mind of the consumer, you have heightened the value of what you're offering. Now, at the same time, the consumer's wondering, oh, I wonder why it costs $50 instead of $5. I was expecting maybe $5, $10. Now it's $50. Why is this worth $50? Now, you, knowing that they're thinking that, now you got to make that offer so good that is worth $500. Now, if that's what you're aiming for, to make something worth $500, do you think you could easily sell it for $5 or $10 or $50? Of course you could. If you really believe it's worth $500 and you put $500 worth of value in what you're offering, you can make that happen. But you have to, again, that's some work that you have to do as a salesperson, as the marketer. And understand, everybody who's listening to me right now, you are all salespeople. So if you want to make a sale, you have to figure out how to make what you offer way better than what you're asking for in exchange. All right, and all you got to do is just figure out ways to create more value, more value, more value. The better you get at creating value, the easier it will be for you to generate revenue, income, make money for yourself, or whatever it is that you want, whatever payoff you want. Not everybody's so driven by money, but whatever it is that you want. You want attention, you want fans, you want likes, you want followers, you want subscribers, whatever you want. You want satisfaction, whatever. All you have to do is learn how to create more and more value and demonstrate the value. This is the next part. You got to implement it. You got to make sure people know that you have value. So if you think you got all this value, but nobody else believes it, doesn't matter. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound? The answer is no, it does not make a sound. A sound does not happen unless a human hears it. If nobody hears it, it does not make a sound. If nobody believes that you have value the way that you believe you have value, does it matter what you believe? No, it does not matter. All right, what matters is if you can get other people to believe it. All right, what you think does not matter when you're selling. It does, but it doesn't, because you're not going to buy your own product. All right, somebody else has to buy it. For you to get someone else to take action, you got to get them to feel how you feel. And the only way you're going to feel that in a genuine way is if you really put that much value into what you're offering, and people are like, damn, I can't pass up that offer. That is too good of an offer. I bought plenty of things that I wasn't super excited about. This specific thing, I was interested, that's why I was looking at it, but I wasn't all in like that. But the offer was so good, meaning they offered maybe something else, they sweetened the deal, they had some bonuses, or they just positioned it in such a way that I'm like, damn, I can't pass that up. That's too good of an offer. I got to take it. And I knew exactly what they were doing, and I took it because that's a hell of an offer. You got to be able to do the same thing that people are like, you know what, I can't pass this up. That's the way you want to sell things. Not, you don't want to sell things on, oh, I'm going to support this person. Maybe somebody will buy something from you because they want to support you, because they love you, they're a fan, they've been following you, whatever. You want to do it. You don't want to depend on that, though, because gratitude runs out. All right, gratitude is a very short leash. All right, this is how much gratitude people will show to you. In the long run of life, people do things out of their own self-interest. So if you had a choice between making sales because of people's gratitude or making sales because you are appealing to people's self-interest, I guarantee you 200 times out of 201, you will make the sale by appealing to someone's self-interest rather than appealing to their mercy or their gratitude or supporting you or any of that. Just make the offer so good that they can't pass it up, that they have no choice but to take it. Okay? Everybody got that. So the change, raising your price, number one. I talked about this in masterclass number 835 and 785 of the Work on Your Game audio experience. So those of you who are game group members, and you can go right there, Work on Your Game University, workonyourgameu.com. That's 785 and 835. Those are two classes where I talked about raising your price. Also, you got to become a better salesperson. You just got to get better at selling. Now, I'm not going to do a whole class on selling here today. I will in the future, but I'm going to refer you to some other places. I wrote a book called The Seller's Mindset. If you didn't know, you can get that at workonmygame.com/sell, SELL, and refer to masterclasses number 791, 625, and 393 for the other masterclasses I've done on, particularly on sales. Point number three. Number three reason why people are ignoring you, passing you over, overlooking you, not paying attention to you when you think they should is because they do not know you exist. They never heard of you. They have no idea that you're on the planet. They don't know your name. They don't know your face. They couldn't pick you out of a lineup. They have no idea who the hell you are. Okay? One of the big reasons why a lot of people get lost in the sauce in the marketing, sales, attention world, especially on the internet these days, on and off the internet, is that nobody knows you. You are anonymous. You can't be anonymous out here. And understand, when I say nobody knows you, that doesn't mean you need to go get 1 million followers. You just need to get the right people paying attention to you. Your market of the right people might only be 4,000, 5,000 people of the right people, but you need those 4,000, 5,000 people to know that you exist. If they don't know you exist, it's impossible for them to pay you attention. And if they can't pay you attention, they can never pay you money. You have to get yourself seen, heard, and known. All right, why do y'all think? What do you think one of the reasons is why I've created so much content and I'm putting it out so often? I'm doing these live streams right here. All this stuff costs you nothing to consume it. Why do I keep doing this? Because every time I'm doing this, somebody who never heard of me is going to hear me. Why do people run advertisements? Why do people pay to get people to notice them? Because they understand that if they can get somebody to notice them and look at what they're doing, they're going to be so good and so compelling that they will make their money back on the back end through selling products and services to those people that they paid to get attention from. Now, some people say, well, that's a risk. That's a gamble. Well, you're damn right it is. That's the game. If you want to get in the game, this is part of the game. You can't just pick and choose what parts of the game you're going to be in. This is part of the game, but it's not really a gamble if you know what the hell you're doing, which is why I just told you to go to dreallday.com/read and read those books that I did, those books that I read on sales and marketing. You can read my book on sales and marketing, and you can put all that together with your own experience and your own knowledge, and you can figure out how to make it work for you. But you have to invest in yourself to figure out, not to figure out, but to get people to notice you. Get people to notice you. Live streaming is free. All right, I didn't pay to do this. You can do this all day, every day if you want. You can put 7,000 videos on YouTube like I did. You can write books and publish them on KDP, Amazon, like I did. What's stopping you from doing that? Only one of my books was done through a traditional publisher. This one right here, where a publisher came to me. We did a publishing deal, signed a contract. They give me their advance and all of that. This is the only book. My 25 books is the only one that was done through a traditional publisher. I'm telling you that to impress upon you that all the rest of these, I did these straight off my own work. You could do the same thing. What's stopping you? Now, maybe you don't want to write books. Maybe you want to make YouTube videos. What's stopping you? Maybe you want to do live streams. What's stopping you? You want to blog? What's stopping you? What is the holdup? You want to post on Instagram 3 times a day? Why aren't you doing it? You want to do Facebook lives every day? Why aren't you doing it? These are free ways to get attention to what you're doing, who you are, and what you bring to the table. Now, let me tell you, before you start doing it, first of all, you need to figure out what differentiates you from everybody else. Because if you're not different from anyone else, you're going to feel like you're talking to the wall because nobody's going to be paying attention to you. Now, at first, nobody's going to pay attention either way. But if you keep doing it and you're consistent and you're good, your one person watching will become 2, will become 10, will become 30, will become 50. And you can stay consistent. You'll start to attract the right people to what you're doing. Again, it doesn't have to be everybody, just the right people. But you got to get attention. Many people are out here just being anonymous, and then they're sitting around like, I wonder why I'm so anonymous. But they're not live streaming, you're not blogging, you don't have an email list, you're not writing, you're not creating, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not utilizing all these platforms that allow you to broadcast yourself completely for free. Now I have an audience, I got an email list, I have products, I have services, I have all this material that I've created over the years, but I still create new material. I've written more articles in the last 12 months than most people will ever write in their entire lives, but I still write articles every day. I've done more live broadcasting than most people will ever do. I still do it every day. I still make videos every day. I still put out new episodes of my podcast every single day. Why? Because I know every time I put something out, if there's just one person who hears of me who didn't hear me before that, I know when I get them when they get into my universe and see what I got going, they're going to buy something. And listen, I'm a businessman. I'm in business. Okay? I'm going to give them value. They're going to give me value. I win. They win. Then they're going to get better. Then they're going to go out into the world and give that value to somebody else, and the world wins. So it's a win, win, win. Y'all understand that? That's why I continue to invest in myself. And again, these are the things that you need to do. And understand that investing doesn't just mean money. There are 5 forms of investment. I talked about this in masterclass number 609 on my podcast. Time, money, attention, energy, focus. It's not just money. Money is one of them, but you got to put the time in, you got to put the attention in, the focus in, and you got to put the energy in. You got to be doing these things to get yourself known. How do you change the fact that people don't know who you are because you're not creating attention, you're not standing out? You got to work on your game. All right, y'all see it right here. Work on your game. What is your game, first of all, and are you working on the game? Do you have a plan to work on your game? Do you have a system for working on your game? Do you have a process that you're following to get yourself out there? If you don't have these things, you need to stop what you're doing after the stream is over. Stop what you're doing and figure out that plan. If you don't have a plan, how do you expect to get to an outcome? I don't think you can answer the question. How are you going to get to an outcome if you don't have a plan? Make a plan. Even if the plan is not perfect, have a plan. Fix it along the way. Get in the right space with the right skills. Maybe you're in the wrong job. Maybe you're talking to the wrong people, but you need to figure that out. And you got to make investments to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And oh yeah, I got a 4th point. Last one. The topic again is why they ignore you, why you're being looked over in life, in your business, and whatever you're doing. Point number 4, you are being too passive. You are sitting around waiting for the attention to find you. That's not the way that it works in this world, ladies and gentlemen. You can't do that anymore. You can't sit around and hope that your YouTube channel pops off, or that everybody starts flooding their way to your Instagram, or that because you put up a sales page that all of a sudden just miraculously, the sky is gonna open up, and all of a sudden all these people are just gonna start coming to your website. Why? Why are they gonna come to your website? Who are you? Why do they know you? What makes you useful? Why do they need what you're offering? You have to answer these questions. Then you got to go out into the world and you got to get in people's faces and let them know the answers to the questions that you know they have that they're not even asking before they ask them. That's your job. It's your job to market and promote yourself and get your name out there into the world. And I just talked about that when I was talking about point number 3. All the things that I still do, even though I've created more stuff. If I never create anything again, if I never do another live stream, blog post, article, YouTube video, write another book, I've created more stuff, free and paid, than 99.9% of people will ever create. And I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress upon you that I'm still doing this live right now. I still recorded 7 masterclasses earlier this morning. I'm still writing articles every day. I'm still putting out another book probably this week. And I'm still going to write another one right after that. And I'm still going to keep creating. I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow. Why? I already did all this stuff. Why am I doing it? Because I can get myself in front of more people who need what I'm offering. But you can't be passive about it. You can't just sit there and hope people find it. You ever seen that movie Field of Dreams where they say, if you build it, they will come? That's not true. If you build it, nothing will happen. All right, if you build it and do nothing, you know what's going to happen? You know who's going to come? All right, the landlord is going to come and say, yo, you got to pay rent. I know you ain't making no money, but you got to pay rent on this land because you built this and, you signed the contract. So you're going to have to pay that rent. All right, that's all that's going to happen. That's the only thing that's going to come. Tumbleweeds are going to come. The rats are going to come. The scarecrows are going to come. The weeds are going to come. Dust is going to come. But ain't no people going to come if you just build something. You got to do something to get people to notice you. You cannot be passive. You got to be active. What do I say every day? Those of you who listen to some of y'all call it a podcast. I call it a master class. Those of you who listen to it every day. What's the 4th principle of working your game? Personal initiative, the go-getter energy that moves you to make things happen instead of passively waiting for things to happen. Excuse me. That's what being That's what having personal initiative means. You got to take the initiative to get yourself out there. A lot of y'all are waiting for things to happen. You can't wait for things to happen because they ain't going to happen. All right, you're going to grow old waiting for something to happen. You're going to be a skeleton sitting on that bench waiting for something to happen. So the change for this is to get active, make yourself seen. You need to brainstorm how you can do this, and you need to do it like yesterday. Not today, yesterday. All right, because time is passing you by. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Do not think that you have time. You do not. Now let's recap what I talked about here today, and I'm going to take questions, and then we'll wrap it up. So everybody who is coming in, before I even get to that, I'm going to tell you right now, these 2 books, mirrormotivation.com, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. This book is free. I've already paid for the book. As you can see, it's in here in my hand. You just take care of the shipping. This book, get it at mirrormotivation.com so that you can be the person who you need to be, so you can do what you need to do, so you can live the life that you want to live. I know it's people watching me right now who have this book. You already know what it is. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Mirrorofmotivation.com. This is the book you start with. If you have never heard of me before, you've never consumed anything from me, get this book at mirrorofmotivation.com while supplies last, before we run out of trees. Next one, Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This is for anyone who wants to play ball overseas. This book is free as well. If you want to get a career playing basketball so you can travel the world and do what 99% of athletes never do, which is get paid to play your sport, travel the world, and live the dream of being a professional athlete, which means you will have fulfilled your potential as an athlete. Get into the top 1%. Go to balloverseas.com. Tell me where to ship this. This book is free as well. 237 pages. All you do is take care of the shipping. I will ship this book worldwide, anywhere you live. We just shipped out 50 of these books today. That is a true story. That's not a lie. Balloverseas.com, mirrormotivation.com. Get both of these books. Now, let me recap, and then I'm going to take questions. So the topic is why you're being passed over. Quickly, number one, you are too similar to everyone else. You cannot differentiate yourself. That's why nobody's paying attention, because you seem just like everybody else. You got to separate yourself. Number two, your value is too low. In other words, what you're asking for is not worth the resources you are asking in exchange for it. Raise your prices. Make yourself a better salesperson. Make your offers more appealing to the prospect. If you make them better, then people will buy. But you got to get better at telling people, showing people that what you're offering is so good that they can't possibly pass it up. Number three, people don't see you. You're not creating attention. You're not standing out with what you do. The change is you got to work on your game. You got to get better at what you do. You got to make yourself stand out. You got to figure out a way to get you attention above everybody else who's also vying for attention. And number four, you are being too passive. You are hoping that things are going to happen instead of going and making things happen. It is not field of dreams. If you build it, they will not come. You got to do something to get people to come. Just because you built it doesn't mean they're going to come. Just because I wrote this book doesn't mean you're going to read it. But guess why you read it? Because every day when I do these lives, what am I telling you? Get this book. Let me tell you why to get the book. Let me tell you what it's going to do for you. Let me tell you how it's going to change your life. Even though I already did all the work writing the book. That's only half the job, people. After you create it, you've only done 50% of the work. The other 50% is getting your creation into the hands of the people who need it. That is marketing. You must do this job. You cannot just create something and think everything's going to come your way. You got to go out there and get it. Charlie Sonny's, I appreciate that comment there. I'm going to screenshot that and put it on the site for mirrormotivation.com so they know I ain't lying. And point number four, you can't be passive. You got to get out there and get people to know who you are, know what you got going on. So now, let me see what we got going on in the comments. If anybody got a question on this subject, the topic is why they are ignoring you, why you're being passed over, go ahead and post it. I'm going to address questions right now for 10 minutes. We got Coach Kev checking in from Jersey. What's going on? For those of y'all who don't know, I always take the questions at the end of the stream. So if you post a question or comment while I'm talking, I stream through the comments at the end and I address them. I appreciate you, Charlie Sonny's. What books you already got? Whichever ones you don't got, tell me what you got and I'll tell you what to get next. Because if you got some of my books in the past, unless you got all of them, if you got all of them, then I got another book on the way, trust me. But if you don't have all of them, tell me what you got. I'll tell you what to read next. Sly Jr. was good. Clore said the only business I've ever done was selling chips in school. Well, hey, that's business. I mean, you exchange value for value. You gave them what they wanted. They gave you what you wanted. That's something. Now you can build on that. Save up your money from selling them chips, flip it, and then do it again, then do it again. Just keep saving up your money. That's a business. That's business. I mean, Frito-Lay is a $1 million company from selling chips. Coach Kev says, my YouTube growth is a slow process. Are there any signs that I should be looking for to show that I'm going down the right path? Yeah, you got to separate yourself. I don't know what it is that you're doing on YouTube, but it has to be something about you that people can't get anywhere else. If you don't know what that is, then that's what you need to figure out. If I can get what you offer anywhere else, then I don't need to come to you. I can get it wherever. You become a commodity. So you got to separate yourself. Sadran says, Dre, thanks for the inspiration through your books and YouTube. It has helped me grow as a man. Started watching in high school and now I'm at university working on my game. That's excellent. I'm glad to hear that You're welcome, and congratulations on your growth. Keep at it. And I appreciate that comment, Charlie Sonny's. All right, so everybody, I'll tell y'all one more time. Another question was, Matthias said, how do you remember numbers of the podcast? I write them down. That's how I remember. MirrorMotivation.com. Get this book, free book, so you can be who you need to be, do what you need to do, live how you actually want to live in your life. MirrorOfMotivation.com. Light that spark within you. Not me lighting the spark, you lighting the spark. That's why it's called the Mirror of Motivation. MirrorMotivation.com. You want to play professional basketball internationally. You want to make money playing ball. You want to live out your dreams and do what 99% of human beings never do, which is do what you actually want to do for a living and get paid for it and travel at the same time. Are you kidding me? balloverseas.com. Get the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. Both of these books are free. You just take care of the shipping. I will ship these worldwide. We just shipped out a whole lot of these books today. I can't even remember how many orders we put through today, but it was a whole lot of them. This is mirrormotivation.com, balloverseas.com. And DJ Fish says, I've been a big fan of you since working your game since the 7th grade. I'm 19 now. Thankful for your tips as a kid. Show me it could be done. All I had to do was make it happen. That's absolute facts. Thank you, DJ Fish. I appreciate you. Everybody, I will be doing this live again tomorrow. Not the same one. A different live tomorrow. So be here. Don't miss it. Be on time. Don't shake anybody's hands. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth. Wear a mask when you outside. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water. Work on your game. We out.